Everybody, it's 1:30, the meeting will come to order. Can everybody hear? You can't hear? Can you hear now? Okay. Okay, I'm going to call the roll. Jen Frank? Here. Beth Quigg? Here. Alex Crawford? Here. April Salazar? Here. Okay. Are there any nominations from the floor? No? The nominations are closed. This is the final call for ballots and proxies. Are there any ballots and proxies to be turned in?
Over here.
Okay, can you take it into the office?
Yep.
Okay, are there any more ballots and proxies? No, I'm going to give her a minute to fill that out. So April, would you let them know that with that ballot, the proxies are, okay. Okay, they'll let us know when they're ready. Okay, should be in that one. Can I, has the meeting been duly noticed? Yes. Madam Secretary, will you read the notice, please?
The annual membership meeting for Holly by the Sea will be held on Saturday, July 18th at 1:30 p.m. in the Recreational Center at 6845 Navarre Parkway, Navarre, Florida 32566.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of last year?
I make a motion we approve last year's annual meeting minutes.
I second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. The minutes of last year's annual meeting are approved 3-0. Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you very much to the staff of Holly by the Sea for going above and beyond during this time of changeover. I want to say thank you to our new general manager for all the extra hard work she's put in. At the changeover on the 4th of April, and from then until now, we have been missing a lot of documents that we should have had. This has caused the changeover to be not as smooth as we predicted. Documents were not returned to us despite several legal letters, and they were not left here. I'm going to give you just a quick synopsis of our outstanding issues. John Borderline, who you may know, is we have sort of on a retainer to deal with the issue of the Greenbelt parcels. He spoke to Jeff Sauer yesterday, the attorney for the Williams family and Billy Williams. He has confirmed the petition to vacate the street was withdrawn and the potential buyer of the Greenbelt parcels is still conducting due diligence under his contract. If you remember at the last meeting, I believe it was the last meeting, there was a sale that had a year until it was either complete or voided, 2 parcels. At that time, the attorney wanted Holly by the Sea to grant waivers on any delinquent property taxes. Our position was that all property taxes had to be paid, not just for the 2 parcels under consideration, but all of them who were now 3 years past due, before we would issue the estoppel for these 2 parcels that are being under consideration for sale. John wrote this in the first person, so I translate. He inquired who might be the buyer's environmental consultant and learned it is wetland scientists. If you remember, wetland scientists were the company that were trying to get us to approve giving away mitigation rights back in, I believe it was October, November. So knowing this firm well, he called Craig Martin, one of their principals, who confirmed they are representing the buyer, and they discussed how it could be many more months before his client, the potential buyer, completed his environmental permitting reviews. We also discussed why they had attempted to have the street separating the two Greenbelt parcels vacated. I asked him to involve Holly by the Sea if they decided to renew this effort, as Holly by the Sea would want to have the opportunity to consider related issues, including the potential consequences to wildfire retardants and combatants. He said he would pass this request on to the buyer's representative. In summary, he does not anticipate any action regarding this matter for the next few months, but he said that before, and sometimes a little request will kind of slip through. Jan had gotten with the property tax assessor to make sure that should any of these parcels, and there's approximately 100, is that correct? Something like that. Should any of these parcels come up for sale at the courthouse steps, that Holly by the Sea will be informed of this. The issue with the DEP. If Frank Myers is here, he can give a more full report on this, but Evan Robertson, who is our engineer with Faber, had submitted our request for blanket permits both to the county and to the DEP and the Corps of Engineers. He received an RAI on 6 points. 3 of them have already been addressed, and they are meeting with the DEP. One of the ones I know they'd asked for a maintenance program for these ponds, and they had that, and then they went and produced it. There's almost double capacity for the runoff cleansing required by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. So according to Faber, we should be okay. I just want to give a little background on this for clarification. Since this was a very big issue at the association, last year in September, Endell Stevens of the Erosion Committee called the DEP to discuss maintenance of a blown out stormwater pond and various improvements to the beach. Mr. Stevens indicated the Holly by the Sea board wishes to restore the system to its previous state. This information is from the state. This is actually from the phone calls themselves, if you may remember. We did get a list of phone calls, but this is actually the content of the phone calls. On November the 6th, there was a call from the general manager of Holly by the Sea saying that new work was proposed. The site visit was then scheduled. Now, and then after that, they received many phone calls from members. And as a result, they came to the site on November the 7th. Now, while it may be perfectly proper to have a phone call to the DEP with some questions, I wonder why at the time in the manager's report it was said that the DEP called Holly by the Sea rather than the other way around. Now, from the end of our project that Browns Hauling did, we have not been able to do any work anywhere, not on the parking lot. On our proposal, we've included the parking lot, we've included the jogging trail, we've included the RV park, we've included replenishing the beach. The DEP have gone back to the time of the developer. And let me state that this is because Holly by the Sea have never really had approved surveys, as-built, permits, any of those things. In fact, the other day they were inquiring about the pond into which the pool backwash drains. Now, the pool backwash drain was obviously put in there when the pool was in there. So this goes back far, far beyond last year. As soon as we are free, the first thing on the list is obviously the parking lot and all these other things. And again, I think if I've missed anything out, Frank Myers will fill me in. During this past year, we have changed the usage so that now the usage is a little bit more humane than it was. Basically, anyone constituting the family, whether they're the husband and wife or whatever relationship they are, can come in and fill out a form and be allowed to access the rec center. There hasn't been a huge explosion as some people feared. It's been manageable. So that was one thing we were able to do, and that was a big thing of Ryan Miller's. Other than John Borderline and our legal issue with these two parcels, I'm going to say very little about this. You must please appreciate that this is a legal pending matter. Holly by the Sea has been named in a civil case in federal court concerning discrimination. FSR's also responded. Much legal time has been expended since the Holly by the Sea records were removed from the association by FSR, and despite a legal request to return them, FSR refused. This has hampered Holly by the Sea's ability to defend itself. In addition, the GM at the time of the case failed to inform Holly by the Sea's insurance carrier, so that now Holly by the Sea is without coverage. We do not fall under the current insurance because this is a previous case. We should have at the time informed the carrier that we had in 2013, but that did not happen. So Holly by the Sea is without coverage should the outcome of this case not go in Holly by the Sea's favor. The new board will be appraised of this matter as it's an ongoing case, and I would encourage the new board to get together and have a meeting with the attorneys, because this is something that cannot wait. Okay, several of these issues, the lack of the documents, there is a complaint to the DVPR on FSR and our previous GM. I just want to stress 10% of complaints do not, please, 10% of complaints never reach the probable cause stage. Our complaint has reached the probable cause stage. It has been through 2 levels of review, and the General Counsel in Tampa has decided that probable cause has been found. This is very serious that we are without coverage. A civil federal court case concerning discrimination is not anything we should take seriously. And as I said, we are completely without insurance coverage in this matter. I would like to thank...
Madam President, is that a result of First Services General Manager?
Yes.
Jenny Barrett?
No. It is the fault of the First Service Manager who was present when and again, you must appreciate there's not too much detail, but when the complaint first went to the EOC, the General Manager at that time should have been the one to inform the insurance company. So your answer is no.
And who was that General Manager?
That General Manager was Alex Fandler. Thank you. Yes?
Madam President, Mr. Stephen Sherrick, I was hoping that you would read the letter that Holly by the Sea received from the DEP because of all the incorrect accusations was made from the list of people you have there. That the final results was that the DEP didn't find Holly by the Sea, and that everything was done back there was done correct, and they,
Please, let everybody who
I'm
is
speaking on
speaking.
what the DEP said. This is not me. I'm telling you what the DEP said, folks. There's no violations. There's nothing done. They have considered all the complaints from all the different people on the misinformation was put in the newspapers, on the internet, invalid. So I think the membership should know that, and I think you should read that part to the people.
I don't have a letter from the DEP saying that. The only thing from the DEP was the initial, result of that, of their first inspection. I don't have.
So you
that.
don't have the letter where I think Mr. Trainer had asked some questions, and I think it was forwarded to Holly by the Sea and all the board, when they said they consider this as a closed case, end of story. You don't have that
No,
letter.
I actually, I haven't even seen that.
Wow. I'm
No,
amazed.
no.
When it's been passed out, I picked a copy up, I wish I had brought mine, from Holly by the Sea here, somebody had put out. But anyway, just the information for the people. The people should know the facts.
What I want to stress, what I really want to stress is Holly by the Sea has not historically, for many, many, many years, got permits, got as-built, got surveys. So it is not what happened now. Had members, had the general manager been as concerned with what happened in 2013, what's happened now?
Or 2006.
Or 2000, or any time previously, we would be going through this, what we're going through now. So this is not confined to what was done in 2014.
Well, I just want to remind you and the rest of folks, the reason in 2004, 2005, it was a state emergency when the hurricanes come through. They grandfathered us in to do what was done the first trip. The second trip, with the 100-year rain, that's what happened again. That's why there was no actual permitting applied for other than phone calls and them coming out and doing that. But you know, I just want to say that the architectural committee is very proud to say that we saved the members here from Mr. Brown doing that, $150,000. Pardon?
Erosion committee.
The erosion committee. Saved the association $150,000. We're proud of that. Thank you.
Thank you. What? Was there a hand up back there? Was there a hand up? No? Before I wind this up?
Yes, Mr. Crawford. Just out of curiosity, because you're reporting on this lawsuit, has any action been taken against FSR for incompetence or malpractice because that insurance was not notified?
We have only very, very recently discovered this information. Because we had no documents at all, we've had to piece this together. If we'd have had documents when we were first given this summons, we could have done all these things. So we've had to go and get records from the case, from our previous attorney. We've had to gather the information. Okay, I would like to thank this.
Are you at liberty to give us the details of the discrimination?
No, it's a legal matter, I'm sorry.
We can go to clerk of court.
Okay,
Behind 23rd.
so I would like to thank the board,
Services didn't take over.
And I will turn this over to April Salazar, the general manager, has a few remarks in addition.
She's not the president.
No, I'm not talking about that stuff. I just have some quick updates for you guys from me about additional information. We've got some forms to tell you that we have an official Facebook page. We also have an official website. We have flyers to let you know how to get registered on there. We've started to put out newsletters, which will be posted there, as well as you can pick them up here at the front desk, and we're going to have the marquee noted when those newsletters are available. So I just want you guys to know that we're going to start putting a lot of information out there so that you know what's going on around here. So I just wanted to let you know that we had those available for you.
If there are any realtors here, I would encourage realtors on that little section of the new website, homes for sale, they could put details of homes for sale, because if you just log on to hollybythesea.org, you don't even need to have a password, and it's like a lot of communities where you can see what's available before you decide to come and live here. So if there are any realtors, that's something. And actually, I think in the instructions for the website, you just leave out the last piece. Just stop at hollybythesea.org. Okay, Madam Treasurer.
June 31st, 2016, operating cash. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm sorry. Can you now hear me? Okay, operating cash, $978,997. Undesignated funds, $617,620. Reserve funds, this is the repair replace portion of it, $629,660. Reserve funds capital improvement only, $318,164. Total in reserves, those two numbers together, is $947,824.
Thank you. Madam Secretary.
I just want to let everybody know that the minutes are up to date on all minutes. So when the new secretary takes over, the only minutes that she'll have to do is starting from today forward.
No,
They'll have to be approved. No, the last minutes were done, they're just not approved. They're just not approved, but they are done and they're out there. So they'll just have to start working from today forward. It took a lot of time for me to go back and finish up all the other ones that were not done. And even the ones today, we still could not find the recording or anything for today's minutes. We had to go back and get figures from Hayden and looking through the old Holly by the Sea newspapers to get the information we have on today's minutes, because they were nowhere to be found, because the last secretary did not get those completed. Other than that, I'm just very grateful that I was able to serve on the board for just a short period of time. I'm not sad to leave. I have learned a lot in the last few months, and I just wish the new board good luck.
I have the ACC report. If there are any other committee members at the end of this, if you'd raise your hand and I'll just call you up. This is for the ACC from Pete Pachenko, who cannot be here today. The Architectural Control Committee helps maintain our community's integrity and sustain property values for homeowners by helping to uphold the covenants, which are well thought out rules and regulations that offer an exceptional way of living for all residents. The ACC currently has 4 committee members: Pete Pachenko, Chairman, Matt Davis, Lawrence Larson, Chrissy Koenig. We work closely with the Architectural Office that currently has 2 full-time staff working 80 hours a week. Staff performs new build inspections, home improvement, final inspections, canvass for violations, and prioritize member concerns and complaints. The ACC assists the architectural staff in completing required case documentation and interacting with members to help address their needs and concerns. For 2015, the Architectural Office had issued 460 violations by June the 30th, and resolved 367 violations. 53 new residential structures were approved to be built in 2015, and 55 new homes were completed and sold or listed for sale. 214 exterior home improvement projects were reviewed and approved, and 184 projects were completed and finalized. The ACC has worked diligently to make improvements to the exterior home improvement application, new residential structure application, and parking policy. The ACC is currently looking for volunteers. The ACC meets twice a month on the first and third Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. in the conference room at the Holly by the Sea Rec Center. We have a volunteer sign-up sheet with us today. Please sign up if interested. And I presume that's in the front, but I'm not really sure. Okay, do we have the Hidden Creek, anybody from Hidden Creek Estates?
Yes, we don't have a report, but we do have one member is going to resign. Jan Egley is.
Could you come up?
Oh, sure.
People can hear.
You know,
You
the
might
only
need to turn it
change,
off.
the only change for Holly by the Sea, the Hidden Creek is that Jan Egley has notified us, and I assume the board, that she's planning on resigning because she's gonna move. We still have 3 active members, so there shouldn't be any problems with our committee.
Thank you. Okay, I would like to acknowledge both the members of the ACC and the Hidden Creek Estates ACC. If we have any members, would they please rise and be acknowledged? Okay. Do we have any other committee? Do we have social committee? No? Do we have, long-range planning?
We don't have any report. However, I do have a question. You said that, the plans for the jogging trail was submitted to DEP?
No, just that we were gonna do it.
Okay. Cause I thought you had asked the committee to get with the
No,
long-range planning.
no, we just had to put it down there that it was gonna be done.
Okay,
The same as the county.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Can I have an acknowledgement for any members of the long-range planning committee that are here today? Would they please stand and be acknowledged? Okay, are there any other committees that we don't have, that we haven't? Frank Myers, Engineering Committee. And my apologies if I got any of that wrong. I did copy it down.
I'm actually not gonna add to what you said. Just something to add to what Alex has said about the engineering committee. She's spot on everything she said. She's been very much involved and up to date on this. I would like to add one thing though, and as we go forward, and maybe considering to amend the contract we have with Faber Engineering to have them provide a design for the parking lot and maybe even the scope for the other enhancement projects that we have out there. I think that would save time, and they're familiar with the project, and I think they would give us a good price. We can go out and advertise that with other engineering firms. We would prolong the progress, or the process, and I think in the long run, Faber's gonna be better anyway as far as price-wise. So we amend the current contract, at least through the parking lot, so they can do design, rather than just provide a scope to contractors. I think then we get rid of all the ambiguity, and we get what we need to have. That's my suggestion.
Thank you. Any other members of the engineering committee, would they stand and be acknowledged, please? Thank you. Okay, is there anybody I've missed? The back?
VAC doesn't have any report.
Okay, but any members of the VAC, do they stand and be acknowledged? I will never forget that. Thank you. Okay, nobody's been left out? No?
Nominating committee.
Oh, the nominating committee, I believe we disbanded, but if there are any members of that, I think we thanked them at the time. You can please stand and be acknowledged. Stand and be acknowledged. Okay, we will take a few minutes? We
I
will
think
take
they're
a
ready.
10-minute recess.
No,
They're coming
they're
out
ready.
now.
They're ready? Okay.
We're ready.
We're more than ready.
Okay.
It might be ready.
Okay.
It may not be happening.
Can y'all hear me? No? How about now?
Loud.
Oh, right there?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. The results of the 2015 Holly by the Sea Improvement Association Director Proxy selection for 4 Board of Director members are as follows. Yvonne Harper, 482. Teresa Robertson, 263. Kevin Lanier, 469. Franklin Myers, 254. Robert Bauer, 128. Deanne Schallenberger, 351. Ernest Gamale, 119. Mark Esser, 67. Rodney Danner, 431. Jeffrey Roberts, 158. Andrew Adams, 188. And the write-ins, there was Janice Kavanaugh, 1. Bill Crouch, 1. Chris Johnson, 1. Dennis Lucas, 1. Daniel Mann, 1. Seth Marciano, 1. Seth Walter, 1. So the 4 candidates were Yvonne Harper, Kevin Danner, Kevin Lanier, Deanne Schallenberger, and Rodney Danner. One more thing and then I'm good. The results of the Holly by the Sea Improvement Association proxy issue to vote to approve the rollover of excess funds to the reserve are as follows. Yes, 623. No, were 72.
Thank you. Okay, the following directors will be unseated. Jan Frank, Beth Twigg, Mary Langdon, and Bill Crouch. Thank you for your service. And the following 4 directors are seated. Rod Danner, Yvonne Harper, Deanne Schallenberger, and Kevin Lanier. Okay, the meeting will be adjourned and it will be followed immediately by an organizational meeting. So the time is 1 minute past 2, meeting adjourned. Thank you.